Space King 3 comes out tomorrow! After many months of pouring our hearts and souls into a single episode of our autistic male power fantasy show, it's finally coming out!
And what better way to promote it than to answer some of the burning questions that you, our loyal fans, have had since episode 1.
That's right! For this video, we asked members of our Patreon to submit their questions, and we will now attempt to answer as many as we can. Yanovich asks, why is Bryce circumcised? I don't know, Don. Why is Bryce circumcised?
Bryce is circumcised because we have 3 female workers on staff.
And yes, they're real and they exist.
And they revolted and demanded that we put his penis in the episode. And also they didn't like how Captain's penis was drawn in episode 1.
I just want to correct the record. They just wanted the penises to have a nice pink gradient. That was really what they were pushing for.
They drew the penis. They drew
did?
it. Yeah, they drew it uncircumcised. A lady posted it and said, I made it more kawaii.
No.
They drew that penis. I didn't draw that penis.
Haymonger's uncircumcised.
Okay, and Haymonger's dick is famously disgusting.
That's because of its right angles, not because of its foreskin. I just want to put it out, because this is real deep lore stuff, right? Why would they circumcise? Because that's a religious practice where you, like, brutally hurt male children for no reason. Why would that be in Space King?
So Bryce comes back to life with his imaginator orb.
Yeah,
responds
I think
with him.
because that's coded in his globule.
And their tattoos come back if they had tattoos.
Yeah, because that's coded in their globules.
So if their haircut comes back and everything comes back, their physical state is saved.
Right.
At least that first time. Because when they're maimed, that doesn't come back.
Right.
So Bryce was circumcised before he died the first time, and that was saved.
Or it was always written into his globules from the start.
That he'd be circumcised.
Yes.
Because he wanted a nice, attractive penis that wasn't disgusing.
I think because whoever
like
made him was like locked in this weird religious cult and didn't care about his well-being. We're just like, who knows? We're just spitballing. WaltWatt4355 asks, what happens if only one globule is rescued? I have thought about this deeply, though everything in this video is subject to retcon and rewriting. I suspect the Psycho Warrior is overwhelmed with estrogen because they don't have enough testosterone pumping through their body and they get gynomastia.
Is that when men grow tits?
Yes. And they can play silly pranks on each other. Like, if Chestnut wasn't such a good boy, he could, like, bring back Bryce with, like, boobies and make fun of him. That's what I like.
There's obviously the practical interpretation, too, that you have globules just like you have 2 balls. In case you lose one, you're not fucked. It's kind of like your lives.
So you would have, like, a life per globule?
Oh, so that's interesting. Because then you could, theoretically, if you have both globules, you can make 2 soldiers that are clones.
I don't like that.
Me neither.
Alright, so boobies.
No, because...
I thought I had you.
that makes it too easy to make female Psycho Warriors. And that has
Oh,
to be,
that's a good point.
that has to be impossible.
That's a good damn point, Don. No, absolutely not.
No, so what I think it is they need one, but to actually bring him back, they have to, like, photocopy the one to have 2 for it to work. You know?
What?
So, at the end of episode 1, Chestnut gives the Snake Queen Xavery's 1 globule, but he still has the other globule.
Yeah.
So is Xavery dead forever because he gave him 1?
No, I think he comes back in a lesser state. And I know you're not a big fan of boobies, but maybe at least a micropenis. I don't know. We could make some good commentary about, like, you know, you still a man if you get globsticular cancer and lose 1 nut. We could make an episode about this. I'm gonna call this one To Be Continued. Tessaphon asks, can the boys take shits? And if so, are they utterly massive? Obviously, poop is very funny, so yes, they can take gigantic log shits.
I think if you watch episode 2, there's actually a waste tube in the squad ship.
I think it's obstructed.
Is it obstructed?
I think in the end it got obstructed. If we were kind and put up the background right now without that obstruction, you can see there's a waste tube that goes into the cock hatch and, like, just sucks out everything in there, I guess.
So maybe they just kind of poop their pants and it just...
Yeah, they have to hold it in, but if they can't, then they just shit themselves. They put the thing on, it's just like... Do you think that they, like, abuse the suck hose?
No, they don't know what sex is.
Touche.
Do you think they get erections? Like,
Yeah, dude.
Cum and stuff?
Oh, I don't know if they can come, but I got erections when I was a kid.
Yeah, so, but can you cum? Can you jerk off as a Psycho Warrior?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, some of them are clearly aroused by boobies, but I guess you are as a kid too.
I don't know if he knows what it means.
I feel fucking crazy. Well, they might just feel fun still. I don't know. Yes, they can take shits, and apparently they also shit themselves. Cunning Stunt asks, what happens if Chestnut dies? Who collects the globules?
Exactly. That's why Chestnut never gets to do anything fun, and they make him hide behind stuff, because he's the most valuable squad mate, really, because if everyone else dies and he also dies, then they're all dead forever.
Yeah, I would even drop a little extra bonus lore that the kind of squads that they're in, having like a Medicae when there's only 4 of them is quite a privilege. Like most of the time there wouldn't be enough Medicaes to dedicate to just one squad. Like at least not a 3-4 man squad, right? Jose asks, what's the name of the new Psycho Warrior? The purple one.
So if you've been on our Patreon, you may have spotted the purple Psycho Warrior.
I love it, dude. It's like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
What? There's a purple one?
There's a purple one.
No way!
Is he their friend?
Sadly, his name is Terry. Mike asks, will you acknowledge that Cap's voice is basically Nathan Explosions? Would you like to acknowledge that?
No, because Nathan Explosion is played by Brendan Small, and obviously Captain is played by
Don Big.
Don Greger.
Little lore drop though, Don did literally get in contact with an extreme metal vocalist to teach him how to do Captain without frying his fucking neck and blowing it out. Dankman asks, how many Psycho Warrior legions are there, and do they have sub-legions?
I haven't thought about this a lot, but I think a lot.
Tons, yeah.
Tons and tons and tons. But we don't have kind of founding lore for you guys.
There's gotta be a lot. Think of all the shenanigans that go on in this universe. Sub-legions? I don't know. Guess you'll find out. Cicero99 asks, do they gotta open the flap to piss, or does the suit suck it out for them? They do have to open the flap to piss.
100%. You may have picked this up from the other answers, but so much of the characterization of the Psycho Warriors is meant to be like little boys.
No.
And men's bodies.
No,
you know?
no,
So you definitely have to lift your shield up and then go and pee in the bushes.
No, what Don said is not true, and if it was, it would be a deep layer that you can pull back like an onion. Omega Shorts asks, have the Psycho Warriors considered using little girls as a source of clean, renewable energy rather than wastefully disposing of them? Dude, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Nerdy asks,
well,
did Chestnut...
What's wasteful about it?
You just want a fucking cooties infection to spread rampant around the Legion? Is that what you want? Is that what you want for this? Nerdy asks, did Chestnut find any lumps while fondling Bryce's balls? No, Bryce does not have globsticular cancer, but it is a function of the universe. The globules can have errors and mutations, and sometimes that manifests in, sadly, metastatic ball cancer. Autism Crime asks, what are the necessary qualifications to become a licensed Medicae? Well, a Medicae must first go to the Sanctum Globulari and undertake their severe dominating studies. Only then will they be able to become a Medicae and tend to the Legion's needs.
So there's globule priests.
Of course, for the worship of globules.
There's the Arc Phallus.
Of course.
That's a station of the Sanctum Globulari. You guys will find out about that in episode 4. And then also, Medicae aren't a legion, if that wasn't obvious. They're kind of a specialized designation of Psycho Warrior that then gets recruited by legions.
They're not real Psycho Warriors. Honorary at best. Real Soundwave 95 asks, are there any non-Psycho Warriors who follow Space King? Well, why don't you just sit tight and wait for the forthcoming Christmas special?
I think that's more just about the human empire. Yeah, all humans in Space King follow Space King, and if they don't, they are either unaware of him or they're heretics.
Correct. Guy Pieri asks, is Hate Mason AI or is he a living being with a little brain inside of him? I'm not telling. Psycho Stumpy asks, does Hate Monger have any other hate prefixed instruments he uses besides Hate Mace? Well, funny you should mention that. He does in fact have some hate flogs that he uses to punish himself with thoroughly in the next episode, coming out tomorrow! Or already out, in case you're watching this in 2 days! Plus!
Do you think they don't have a personality though? They don't talk.
No, but they're still very hateful.
They're very hateful.
You don't have to talk to be hateful. It can just be in your soul. Abyss Walker asks, are there any space wizard powers in the universe? And if so, how do the Psycho Warriors and Space King view it? Funny you should ask. Episode 3 actually involves the machinations and mystical powers of a time wizard. And you'll see exactly how they deal with it momentarily.
How do the Psycho Warriors and Space King view it?
Wizardry? It's for fucking pussies, dude.
And space powers?
I mean, it depends if they're on their side or not.
I think it goes more deep than that too. Like in the Christmas episode, there will be more space wizardry and space powers, and they don't really know what to do with it. It's kind of like pretty rare and unusual, but not necessarily always bad. And then obviously Space King, as far as they know, was like an all-powerful magical figure, and that wasn't bad, so...
Thank you for the question, Abyss Walker. Coffee Gnome asks, will there be any certain space nuns dedicated to Space King? No! Der Tall Guy asks, what happens if the globules are removed from a living host? Well, some say they revert back to the child that was the host in the first place. Others say that they revert to a childlike version of themselves slowly as they de-transform. But who's to say?
Who knows?
Valhallis asks, what if some globules are mixed? Will this result in Hate Bryce and Captain Nut? Dude, how did you miss the fucking layup of Hate Nut? That was so obvious. Yes, in fact, mixing and matching globules does produce strange double variants of characters.
Think Fusion Dance in Dragon Ball Z, which is really cool and not gay.
Yeah, so if you want to see Bryce Nut, that's an option. Like that? It was all in the inflection. Gonk asks, how many times have the boys died? Do they even know? I'm gonna say that deaths are so frequent and common that they have long since lost count, and they probably don't even remember all of the times this happened.
Yeah, I don't think it really phases them. They're not really worried about it.
They are worried about their globules getting mushed, though, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I wanted to think of the shield in their armor as like the hardest part of their armor, and it's made of a special extra rare metal that's much harder than the rest of their armor, so they can't... It's like rare enough that they can't make the whole suit out of that, but they commit it to the shield, you know, because that's the real piece they have to protect.
Which is... instructive. Look at the power of that alien's pistol in episode 1, that it could chip it so easily. And not at all because we hadn't thought that far ahead. Dylan asks, can we expect to see some cameos in the future? A chapter voiced by Meat Canyon, perhaps? Dude, some of these questions are so prophetic. You will see Mr. Papa Meat Canyon acting in the episode out tomorrow.
And it might not be obvious who he plays.
There's also a fun guest for the Christmas episode, but I guess we'll keep that under wraps too. Mike the Knife asks, Chester obviously can't handle using the globulus under stressful conditions, so if need be, can he carry the globules via mouth?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like maybe part of his education is places to put the globules when you lose the globulus.
In the event of the globulus failing.
There are a few places you could put the globules where they'll be semi-safe if you lose your globulus, but maybe that's for another episode.
That's nice too. He could put them in his mouth and then close the grill.
That's true. He could just have them rolling around inside the helmet.
Just pressed against his cheek.
That's right.
Yeah,
I like that. That wasn't where I was thinking they'd go, but it's another option. I Marvel at DC asks, how tolerant is Hate Monger's Legion's members towards each other? Are they constantly fighting each other over who hates certain things the most? Well, you'll be interested to know there is more than one Hate Legion. There are in fact quite a few Hate Legions, and they are locked in a perpetual clash of civil war. As to whether they hate each other, it seems semi-likely. But as we all know, there is no crime on planet Heaven. Ollie Good Times asks, where do the legions get their boys from? Well, why do you want to know? Do they solely recruit from Earth, or are there other human colonies out there? Good question. There are numerous resources for where to get your boys. There are some legions who are dedicated to the capture of premium boys, which are highly sought after in the Holy Space Empire. There are also factory farmed boys, which are a lower quality, but still, you know, acceptable solution if you're in dire need. There's boys everywhere. And the more innocent and pure you can find them, the better of a host they are.
Yeah, the other thing is, it wasn't obvious, but the planet that gets invaded in episode 1 was not meant to be literally planet Earth. It's just meant to be an Earth-like place that doesn't have contact with Space King or Psycho Warriors.
Yeah, we kind of fucked that up, huh? Gray asks, if you were 3 inches into Chestnut and Hate Monger's hate mace was 3 inches in you, are you moving forwards or backwards? Okay, how big is Hate Mace? Hate Mace is big. Hate Mace is like this big. Let's just pretend for a moment that either of our nubile young assholes could stretch around that much mass. 3 inches is what? 1, 2, 3, That's 3 inches, right? So you've just got like one spike. You've got one spike of hate mace in you, and you're 3 inches into chestnut. So I'm moving forward because that gets me off the spike and into something warm and comforting. That's my answer. I don't know how you feel about it.
It's kind of not even a question.
Yeah, if you think about it for more than 1 fucking second before, actually this person gives us money every month. Good question. Thank you, what's that say? Grey. I don't know if that's a real name, so just bleep it out. Thank you for your question about anal sex and rape. Gonk asks, is Space King a virgin or was he slaying alien poon for millennia before disappearing? Grow up. Darv asks, do the Psycho Warriors fuck heavy? What does that mean?
I don't know, but they don't fuck. Probably, mostly.
I feel like there are some out there who fuck.
There's probably some out, like the shitty kid in middle school, you know?
Yeah, I can think of one that does specifically, actually. To be continued. Christmas special. Will there be episodes more often than once a year? God damn it. Well, fuck you two. You know, this is not easy, alright? It's really hard. I will say this. Episode 1 took our whole lives. Episode 2 took, what, 10 months? Yeah. Oof. Episode 3 took 9 months.
9 months now.
Episode 4 is gonna take about 4 months. Whoa. By Moore's Law, episode 5 will take 2 months. Episode 6 will take 1 month. Episode 7 will take 15 days. We're basically gonna be releasing them in a non-stop slop pipe very soon, so maybe give us a fucking break, dude. And the speed of that is all down to your Patreon bucks. Thank you. Because we've been able to invest in building a fucking turbo studio to start pumping these out quicker and quicker and quicker. And I don't know, boys, we're kind of fucking ready to hit the big time with this. So thank you. Much appreciate.
And also when you buy hoodies, that helps a whole lot.
What's that, Don? Whoa. Whoa, maybe you should turn around and do a little twirl. Oh my God. Wow. I don't know if they're gonna see a whole lot, but
It gave them both angles.
Kinda. Whoa! That's pretty cool. Alex asks, what are the names of each character's weapons? That's a good question. Hate Mace is called Hate Mace.
Psycho Shotgun.
Psycho Shotgun is Haymonger's other weapon.
Captain has the Psycho Pistol and the Psycho Sword.
It's catchy, right? Bryce has got the 4x custom Mega Psycho Blaster. He made it himself, which is an ode to his genius and creativity.
Although we may retcon that.
Although that just might be standard.
It might just be a standard gun. We're not sure yet.
It's simply too good of an idea for it to have been Bryce's.
Chestnut also just has a standard Psycho Blaster and a standard Medicae Psycho Knife.
Some people call it Old Stabby, but I don't know. Will the Beast asks, does Space King take place in the future, or is it in a fantasy universe separate from our own? You wanna make a split decision, a snap decision right now? Future.
I think so too.
Boom, roasted. Mango Marnie asks, what happened to Hate Monger's cock? Nothing. They're all different and they're all valid.
They're all...
They're all different and they're all valid, alright?
That was a fun moment at writing episode 1 when we landed on what if at the end you see all their dicks, and then the very next thing that was said was, and Hate Monger has a fucked up dick.
You know what? You know, if this was like just a corrupted show, whoever was writing it would have been like, what if he had a tiny dick? That's why we're better. Because we didn't go for that fucking low-hanging lame fruit. Mr. Slinky Dragon asks, what would happen if a little girl gets a pair of globules rather than being chucked into a volcano? Where would they go?
Where would they go?
They literally don't have the anatomy to take globules, so where would they go?
What would you hook them up to?
You're gonna put them in the uterus? It's not that big.
Replace the fallopian tubes?
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's just, that's not...
It's literally, unequivocally and forever, and you can clip this, unequivocally and forever impossible in the Space King universe for a little girl to receive globules. Okay? Just want to make that clear. Is everyone on board? Okay, good. Good. Mike and Knife asks, why was the High Command on the Exsanguinator's ship all methed out? The coagulators, completely under the control of the blood bug, we'll just call it for now, I don't remember what it's called, murdered their high command. Partly due to filling it with blood, because they're retarded, but partly because they started to think that it was actually a false kind of prophet of Space King, right? Whereas the blood bug was the legitimate prophet of Space King. So they murdered their own high command. And it's not until they actually crash and the bugs get all disorientated from that the bugs start attacking them because they can't tell like what's going on.
Yeah, when they arrive in the high command chamber, there's no war or bugs or anything, and then they come to with all of that happening. Because as Exsanguinator said, the hive just became agitated.
Yeah.
Crash. Maybe the broodmother even convinced them that drowning it in blood would fix it, make it see the way, you know?
All right, let's wrap this up. What we got? Ryan asks, could you explain the legions a bit? Yes, I can explain a bit more about the legions. So you might wonder why the Star Defender's banner has symbols of the Medicae, like the Sanctum Globulari, Bryce's Legion, and Hatemonger's Legion. It's actually because the type of squads that they're in is like a Psycho Warrior exchange program, right? So the different Psycho Warriors go to the different legions as like a little swapsies, and that way you've got like good community building between the legions, but also if one of the legion's squads find something sick, like that statue of Space King, then they can all kind of stake some sort of claim to it, and that's to avoid like, you know, infighting.
Yeah, no hogging.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the Star Defenders found something sick, but Hatemonger can tattle, you know?
Yeah.
They have to share. So that's what the Reclaimer squads are all about.
That's right.
Oh, I'll give you a little more lore. Bryce's Legion, the fire symbol and the orange. A lot of people thought that just meant, oh, he's like a heavy unit. Like, No, he has his own legion, and it's called the Flame of Space King.
Wow.
Whoa.
And that is all the questions we have time for today. I hope they've got you fired up for tomorrow's Space King Episode 3.
And if you want to be part of the Cool Kids Club and have your questions answered in future videos, join our Patreon in the link below. We'll see you on the main Flash Kids channel tomorrow!
The Patreon has weekly Flash Kids Fridays where you get to learn all about the new episodes in production. You'll also get a host of stickers in your mailbox every month, and it helps make more Space King.
So sign up, please. And buy a hoodie also, and a t-shirt, and a lunchbox.
If today is today, then we see you tomorrow. If today is tomorrow, then click here to watch Space King Episode 3.